Hey everybody, it's your favorite gal pal, Scarlett Cyanide, and welcome back to another Scarlett Cyanide's Sit and Sip. As always, I am joined by my lovely co-host.
I'm Jordan. I'm always here. Or also here. Dang.
Jordan, we are here for a second time today. Woo, double feature. To talk about the second episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 10.
Yes. Tournament of All-Stars.
Tournament of All-Stars.
You gotta make sure you say it.
Bracket 1, the orange team.
The orange bracket.
Yes. And today, it was an acting challenge. I love an acting challenge. I was so pleasantly surprised. The scripts on an acting challenge can really go either way, but this whole storyline was just like chef's kiss. So now don't forget to support the channel by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We are here every single Monday giving you the breakdown of all things Drag Race, all things All-Stars. And if you want to watch All-Stars with us every single week, you can become a member. So go ahead and click that join button below.
See you in those watch-alongs.
Yes. All right, Jordan, it's that time. Let's grab a seat and take a sip. And let's get into episode 2. Okay, so the acting challenge was called Murder on the Dance Floor.
Murder on the Dance Floor.
And the script was really cute. Each of the girls played a guest at, I guess, a bachelorette party on a cruise ship.
On a cruise ship.
And Ashley Brashley was murdered, and she has a twin sister, Mary Kate, which
Mary Kate Brashley.
We love a reference. We love a 90s reference. And, you know, all of the other guests are there as well. So who done it?
Who done it?
So RuPaul plays Inspector Poussey.
Yes. I really enjoyed this character quite a bit. Sometimes Ru's roles are a little bit like literal eye roll.
Yeah.
But this was brilliant. It was like part Poirot, part Clouseau, and it just worked perfectly. I loved it so much.
I loved it too. And what I also loved about this is it was like an acting challenge, but it was really an improv challenge.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I love when the girls get an opportunity to improv with RuPaul, because RuPaul really is like kind of a top-notch, just volleying improv actor.
Yes, absolutely.
And does such a spectacular job of like having fun with the scene, but like giving the girls every opportunity to do what they got to do. So, this is a really good opportunity for the girls to start really building that rapport for Ru, because we all know, like, I can already tell you my at the end of the day is like going to be something about playing the long game with Ru, okay? Because some of these girls are playing the long game, and some of these girls keep on like missing the shots. Something about sports and games.
Yeah.
Now, before we really get into who's doing what, let's talk about the points of where we're at, because now the points are fully in play. And so we actually open the episode with the bottom 4 girls. And I say bottom 4 because, like, I don't know.
Yeah, because if you're not in the top, you're in the bottom, like you said.
Right. So the bottom 4 girls are now discussing, okay, how are we going to do this point situation? I did like that they were sitting there without the top 2, and they got to kind of have a private discussion, right? The alliance situation that ultimately happened was kind of between just those bottom 4 girls, and they said, hey, we would be kind of dumb to not make sure we all get on the board. So it just makes the most sense.
It does.
To give our points to each other.
It does. They, I forget who said it about it, but it said it was the beauty pageant. The safe diplomatic answer was to give everybody a point.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed to be down for it, except Olivia, who was considering giving it to Aja.
Right.
And, like, much to the dismay of Deja.
And I like that Aja actually talked about, like, oh, my alliances are, like, tiered now. So she's got her Diamond Alliance with Olivia. And then she got,
did say that.
the Platinum Alliance with her, Olivia, and Deja. And now maybe she's going to have a Gold Alliance. And we did see, like, a little blossoming friendship with Irene.
It seems to be this mutual respect of, hey, you're kind of a bitch.
Yeah, it's more of like, you can dish it out and you can take it.
Yeah.
We had a delightfully fun mini challenge, and I always love it's on the like verge of like sexual,
Yeah.
So it was very much a party game, and I don't know, the girls just had a race of rolling a ball between themselves and a pit crew member.
Yeah, without using their hands.
I do love that it was the Early Out sisters that were the top two of the mini challenge and had to go
ball to head,
which was Irene and Phoenix. And then, as RuPaul said, it pays to be fast and loose because Irene ultimately won, but it did pay because she won $2,500.
Yeah, not bad. Not too bad for a mini challenge.
Now they find out about this wonderful, wonderful challenge. I love that Carson was in there.
Yes.
Playing a very like straight man detective, my heterosexual friend.
Which I adored. Yeah, Captain Stooping.
Platonic friend, that's what he said. It's really fun. And then Michelle, of course, who was the makeup
as Michelle.
As Michelle, yes. Typically, during the role reading, there's some sort of like, I want this role. No, I want this role.
Oh, usually. That's usually the fun. That's usually at least the fun of the first part of the episode.
But no, honestly, hilariously, even to them, everybody was just like, I want this role. Boom, 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 boom. Literally, assigned out.
And they even had to check, like, so we're all just cool. Like, we're fine.
And then they did a little fake fight.
So they had a fake fight to take out the energy they expected need.
I'm glad because we were sitting there watching the live and I'm like, they're not going to fight? I'm like, well, this
I was
is
like,
boring.
I feel a little ripped off that they're not going to fight. So I'm glad they did that.
Let's talk about how each girl did in the acting challenge with RuPaul. So let's start with really the top half, the top three. First, start with our 3-point winner this week. That's right, because she won the lip sync as well.
Yeah.
Bosco, who played Kitty Laveau. And Kitty Laveau's character was so quirky and fun, so perfect for her. She was a cabaret singer, a hilariously terrible cabaret singer.
Yes, which is a detail that I felt like really appealed to Bosco, and they really made that part work.
So smart.
So funny.
Yes, lean into what you know. And then she hilariously did or did not have a glass eye or a fake eye or whatever. It was a funny bit.
It was a funny
bit.
It was a funny bit where she debatably has one eye or no eyes.
Or no eyes.
Or no eyes all that work at all.
She's blind.
Or that she's blind, and why are you laughing at her?
Why are you laughing?
It felt like a lot to me was Jimbo as Shirley Temple with the suddenly just going, I'm 100 years old.
Yes, and Bosco was really the only person that got RuPaul to break character and actually laugh.
Yes.
In the middle of the scene. It was like really, really good.
Irene got really close. I saw Irene get really close. I saw RuPaul have to stop a little bit.
Yes. But, oh my God, Bosco just looked incredible.
Yeah.
Just gave you a head-to-toe experience. So the runway this week was coming and going. Bosco's look, oh my God. She was giving you literally a mixture of like Lydia Dietz and Elvira.
Amazing.
In a cinched coffin. Just looking so beautiful. And of course, a little like Amanda Lepore thrown in there.
It was stunning. Now, RuPaul also said, like, this is a little bit, not cheating, but you know I have a soft spot for this.
Play into those references. Like,
which was smart. I could absolutely see the Lydia Dietz she was referring to, because she was talking about Lydia Dietz from the cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very that.
Great.
It was so great. Definitely one of my favorite looks of the night. All right, so let's move on to the other top two, Irene. And Irene played the character Cherry Cheeks. And Cherry Cheeks was there, not on the guest list, very suspicious. And she was actually the ex-wife of the man who was being married. Oh my God, Irene. Tell me, what did you think about Irene?
Irene is just incredible. like it is said later in this episode by Aja, I love somebody with something to prove, so they come back and they do it, because Irene is just schooling everybody on everything, every little thing.
Yeah.
We got to learn a little bit more about her with her slightly burying the lead while talking to Deja, and just overtly, casually bringing up that she has a BFA in playwriting and theater.
Yeah,
and so
I know.
that she's
just like
completely qualified to kill this.
Yeah.
And she does. I said when I first saw her that I thought she was James Mansfield.
Oh my God, I know. She came painted and like bosomed out to that challenge. She looked incredible. And one of my like favorite things, that amazing guest judge, by the way, Colman Domingo.
I love him so much.
I know.
You know, actually, when they said the gays were going to scream about these guest judges, he was a guest that I had.
Ooh, okay, I love that.
And
Colman Domingo said it like how that mic drop and like the snatch of her doing that perfectly timed like personality shift and like voice drop.
It was so good.
That was like professional.
And the way the first voice just like kind of curled into the next voice, it was so perfect.
She was acting.
Yeah. Oh no, she was acting, because she even like had it everything right here.
I know.
Like she just looked so devious in her mouth.
It was so good.
Irene is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something else that Irene did that was really incredible, in my opinion, was her runway look. Because she really swung for the whatever and did the sports thing.
Did the big sports.
She did the big sports, and she went very political on her runway look.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can see why the argument of some people might be like, blah, 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 I don't like it, whatever. I personally loved it and thought it was very funny, of giving you the Republican woman facade front whose brain is literally being controlled by an alien, and she's a robot, because, I mean, let's be real, like...
This one, I don't know. Like, I did love... Okay, the reveal made it worth it for me, but I just felt like the outfit was just really bad.
The red suit.
The red suit part of the outfit. The back part made the joke work, but I don't feel like it made the outfit work.
Got you. Now, let's talk about the third place girl, essentially.
Yeah.
Which was Aja, and she played Ashley Brashley.
Ashley Brashley.
But she also played Mary Kate. It was a dual role. She played the twins. And what did you think about Aja?
Such range.
Such range. I
Playing
know, right?
a character in a corpse.
Right. Yeah. Gus.
So she was very consistent in how she delivered her character, which is good in theory. The problem I started to have with it is she would deliver funny parts the same way she would deliver the serious parts. Some of it, I'm like, you're just steamrolling over the jokes.
Ultimately, like, Aja did a fantastic job, but I think her delivery just could have been dialed up a little bit more, had some more nuances, had a little bit more range, and then, you know, I think then she would have been right up there with Irene and Bosco. But what did you think about her runway look? She had the yellow, very like goddess inspired front.
Oh, yeah. It was beautiful.
For me, I thought Aja's look was really pretty. I thought she looked great in it. And I actually really liked the cut of the yellow dress. I thought it was still very like Aja styling, but being elevated.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen enough Drag Race runways where when people switch from like a day to a night or a night to a day, I'm kind of like, oh, okay.
Like yawn.
Yeah, like the concept, but I think it was really beautiful and really well made. Yeah,
absolutely.
Please, somebody else who did really, really well, which was Deja Skye. And Deja Skye played Chardonnay Harrington, which, which was the sister of Harry Harrington.
Okay.
And also, she was the richest woman in New Orleans. And very drunk.
She was very drunk. The eyelash on the cheek was just an immediate... I knew I was all in on this character. It was very funny. I don't understand where her lack of confidence was coming from, because she was doing amazing. And when she heard that in judging, it sounded genuinely surprising.
Yeah, and even when they were talking about it, getting ready for the runway and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Phoenix actually had a very heart-to-heart conversation with her, because Deja was really in her head, and when they were all kind of saying how do you think you did? She goes, terrible. I did terrible. But it was no, I mean, it's I thought she did fantastic, and I'm so glad that the judges did tell her what a great job she did, and she literally heard that directly from RuPaul.
Yeah. The only character that comes back every single season is the Inner Saboteur. Mm-hmm. And we saw the beginnings of one today. Hopefully we got that squashed real quick.
I really hope Deja can overcome this imposter syndrome that she really seems to be struggling with. Now, Deja very much was giving you flower, and beautiful flower on the front. When she turned around, a very big blossom on the back.
Very big yellow blossom.
Yeah, I personally thought Deja looked really beautiful. I liked the scale of this look. I liked that it was a big drag look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I don't know. I was just not into some flower stuff. Mm-hmm. It was beautifully done, but I wasn't feeling it personally.
Yeah, it was very pretty, but I just wasn't super excited.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Olivia Lux, who played Madame Bouffant, who was a fortune teller, but then we found out, oh, surprise, she was the mom of Aja's characters, Ashley and Mary Kate. She was the mom who had run away to the circus.
The Freaky Deaky Circus.
The Freaky Deaky Circus when the girls were young. Overall, for Olivia's character, I felt that she did probably about as well as I thought she would do, in a way that, she didn't blow me out of the water, but I thought that she did a good job. But I just think, obviously, she just could have really done a lot more with the character.
Yeah.
But it was fine. There was nothing wrong with what she did.
It was fine. I have a problem that's not really anybody's fault, and there's really nothing that can be done about it. But I just don't like old age makeup with drag makeup. I just don't like it.
That's fair.
I know
that's fair.
Sometimes the character has to be old, so you have to do it. I understand that. That's why I'm saying it's not easily solved.
Well,
I just don't like it.
Hopefully, Lydia on future brackets won't keep doing some really bad old age makeup.
Oh boy,
we saw in season 17. Because really, by a lot of people's standards, this is pretty beautiful old age makeup.
I would agree. I would agree. Yeah. I would agree. Even despite me not liking it, it was quite well done.
Yes. Now, like you said, also giving flowers on the runway, we have Olivia giving you a Billie Holiday-inspired look, but when she turned around, the whole back was covered in white hydrangeas.
Gardenias.
Hydrangea, she's not here. Gardenias. Yes. Oh, what did you think of this look?
Now, maybe this is why I wasn't so crazy on Deja's look, because this was just so gorgeous.
And she went first. Yeah, it was so beautiful.
Maybe it would have been the opposite if she had went second. I don't know, but yeah, it was so gorgeous.
It was, yeah. I loved the wrap around of the microphone thing. So it was giving you drag, but it was just giving you a little bit of camp, but just so beautiful.
It was very cool.
It was very, very cool. So next up is Phoenix, who played Delphine Burgundy. Or it's Burgundy. I mean, family had the gumbo recipe that was stolen from them by Ashley.
Stolen the gumbo recipe.
Yes, apparently Ashley did. She did a lot of people wrong.
It's very relatable.
Yeah, she shot out Bosco's character's eye.
Yeah.
She stole the husband, and she stole the gumbo recipe. So honestly,
I mean, that's what you do.
I'm not surprised, that all of this happened to her. Were you buying the character and all of that?
I unfortunately was not. This episode, it didn't feel like the energy wasn't there. It just didn't feel like it was right. And it just felt like she was reading her lines. I didn't feel like she was in the character. Again, like some of the funnier parts felt like they got lost because they weren't delivered properly. And then some of the parts she did deliver correctly just kind of weren't that funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say for the runway, I first really quickly want to just touch on the story that she shared, the really heartbreaking story that she shared. And after she told that story, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to like sound insensitive when I say my opinions about her outfit, because I know this outfit was very emotional and sentimental for her, and I really do appreciate the sentiment and the time that clearly went into making everything.
Of course.
I think for me, it's not that the outfit was inherently anything like wrong with it. I think it goes back to my personal preference of, once again, just not really being too wowed by like a day to night or like a sun to rain or like that kind of I don't know, just very we've seen done concept.
Don't dare I say just obvious.
Yeah. So I think like the gown was pretty. It was well executed. It wasn't my taste. I did though have a bit of an issue with the wig. It was giving me season 3.
Yeah, I could see that.
Walked in the door wig.
I was even thinking about it in that respect. Had she put some black in it to make it a reference, I think I could have forgiven it because that would have been funny. It just like, it looked weird. And because it wrapped around her whole face, it just, I don't know, it felt weird.
I think like because the dress had so much volume to it and all the tulle, her hair needed volume. I thought that like it was an odd choice aesthetic wise and proportion wise to have just scaled down wig.
You're so right, because she could have continued the funnel into the hair.
Oh my god, right. It would have been,
oh my god, she could have done like a whole sun coming out of that if she needed to.
Oh my god,
on
if
the back.
she could have like made a wig like headpiece to go along with this, I think it would have taken this outfit for me from like a 6 to an 11, you know. So the top 2 were once again Irene.
Yeah, Irene again,
and then Bosco.
So just we're switching out the members of the 3.
Of the 3.
Next time it's going to be Aja and Bosco.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
And the other 3 are not going to get a chance to do anything.
Right. And they lip sync to Murder on the Dance Floor, which makes sense.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yes. And, okay, how was this lip sync for you?
This was a really great lip sync for me. I thought it was closer than it seemed like most people did. I really thought that Irene was giving it quite a bit, and everyone seemed to be in agreement that it was clearly Bosco, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like it's close.
No, I mean, I'm interested to hear your perspective.
So Irene clearly had a really good command of the song. Her facial expressions that she's already becoming known for are hysterical. Mm-hmm. I was amazed by she was able to get a pop out of Carson just by making a facial expression and kind of waving high a little bit. And that was during a lip sync.
Yeah,
that's really impressive.
That's true. You know, for me, I think Irene did the best that she could to keep up the pace of like a fast-paced song. Honestly, until the reveal happened and we got to see like the Bosco burlesque.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous because for me, Irene was giving, I'm trying really hard, but like for me, it was feeling a little frantic. The quality of the dancing was not a quality that I would have loved to see. Like, and Bosco, she looked beautiful, but with the cape dress thing, even with the swirling, I'm like, why is she giving Gaga in American Horror Story Hotel?
Yeah, she
she looked beautiful, but I was like, is something gonna happen? So honestly, what saved this lip sync for me, because I was not enjoying it was the reveal, and then we got
Yeah.
to see the body, yada yada.
Yeah.
So the body saved me. Okay, so the points at the end of the episode is Bosco and Irene are tied. They have 4. Aja has 3 points, and then everybody else has 1 point. We won't get to see how the exchanging of the 4 points goes, unfortunately, until the beginning of next week's episode, which, by the way, leaves me a question. Are they still going to award points for next week's episode? And then if so, when are we going to see those?
It's going to have to be during the episode at the end, right? Otherwise, when?
Yeah. So, and then next week, we saw that they're going to have to do a makeover challenge.
Yes.
But did you clock that there were only 3 makeover people, at least that I saw, and 6 girls?
That's what I was catching. So that means we'll almost certainly have some kind of mini challenge, because then they'll get to...
Oh, probably pair up. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll almost certainly have a mini challenge, because then they'll need to pair up.
Okay. Oh, I love this. So, Jordan, who is your sip of the week?
My sip of the week, 100%, is Irene the Alien, especially for her performance in the lip sync, which this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think Irene was killing it, and that was actually really close. There were moments where I was like, until she was shaking and we saw the body, and then it was not close at all, I was like, Bosco might lose this. Irene might take this.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
I know that's an unpopular opinion, and you're all going to say that I'm crazy.
No,
it's
have
fine.
your opinion.
It's fine. Please say that I'm crazy.
No, have your opinion.
I want people to have their opinion and say that I'm crazy.
Okay, I love that. Say that they're crazy. We love that, apparently. So, my sip of the week, I like that we switched this week from last episode. My sip is Bosco 100,000% today. I think Bosco did obviously amazing in the challenge. They were the winner overall. And, oh my God, that runway with the Elvira, just everything.
It
Bosco,
was so gorgeous.
I just think Bosco is honestly really one to watch, even once we go to the merged brackets. I think Bosco is like giving that top 3, top 2 girl.
Yeah.
So amazing. All right. Who is your spit?
My spit is not her, but it was the look. Phoenix's look at the end of the episode on just out on the main stage. I was not feeling it. It just felt like you can do better than this, girl. Come on.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of one of those moments.
My spit is also Phoenix. Not even necessarily for the outfit, but because, once again, she felt timid overall, and the delivery was not there in the challenge. And the problem for me is that she thought that she did really great, and she thought that she had cut loose. So if that's her cutting loose, I don't know that I need to see a lot more. I'm just going to say. Yeah. So Phoenix is my spit as well. So, Jordan, it is that time. What is your at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, I'm going to go off script a little bit, and I'm going to actually make my at the end of the day a question for our viewers that I want you to answer down below, please. What does everybody feel about this waiting till the next episode for the 4 points? I'm not sure how to feel about it. I don't know if I like it or I don't like it yet. I'm looking to be convinced one way or the other. So if you got a good argument, I'd love to hear it.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear that, too. Yeah, of course, we want to hear about all what you think of what happened in these episodes, about the points, the alliances, and all of that. Leave it in the comments below. All right, my at the end of the day, let me get back because I teased a little bit at the beginning. At the end of the day, you got to play the long game with RuPaul. And what I mean by that is you can't just be killing it in the challenges. You also need to be making Ru laugh whenever Ru comes into the room, whenever they're doing the walkthroughs. If she's in there for a mini challenge, you better show out. If, you see her for the Tic Tac lunch, or even if like Ru's there giving direction in the acting challenge or directing you in a photo shoot, like you better be like building that rapport with Ru. And I think...
RuPaul.
The RuPaul. And for me, the person doing it the best and the most obvious in this group is Bosco.
Really? I was going to say Irene.
See, I think when Irene is with Ru, she's still very much like, yes, thank you, yes. But Bosco is like giving, the boob jokes, and Bosco
I see what
is
you're
like,
getting at.
saying like, oh, I have a PhD, and, I can't say either of the words.
Of course.
But I don't know. I think when it comes to who's making Ru laugh the most and consistently, it's Bosco, like clearly for me. Gals. All right, Jordan, this was so much fun. We're going, probably back to just one episode a week.
I honestly hope so.
Yeah.
But we'll be doing our sit and sips, and then we'll do quick sips of King of Drag and Untucked.
I'm like, what's it called? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, divas, I gotta go. It's been a day. I hope y'all are taking care of yourselves. Be good, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.